Hello, my name is John Wright. I've been a band director for about 25 years. I feel very strongly that every instrumentalist, every orchestra member, every band student, anyone playing in a church orchestra, I think they all need to learn how to conduct. You might say, why should all these people learn how to conduct? Why should you learn how to conduct if you're an instrumentalist? Well, people who know how to conduct are extremely precise in their ability to follow a conductor. If you think about that, I'll say that again. People who know how to conduct are extremely precise in their ability to interpret what that conductor is saying. They know where beat 1, beat 2, what the conductor means. They can feel what the conductor is feeling. They can sense in a deeper level what that conductor is trying to convey if they themselves know how to conduct. And that's the reason why I feel like all of my band students and any other instrumentalist, they need to know the very simple process of how you conduct. And once you understand how it's put together, you'll understand every beat and what the conductor is saying on a deeper level. So first of all, you want to be dressed in black colors, dark colors, so that your baton and your hand stands out against a black background. You can dress in all white if you're, for instance, a marching band drum major, conductor, out on a football field, and the instrumentalists are having to look all the way across a football field to see the pulse, to see the beat, your gestures and what you're trying to do. Then you could dress in all white. Maybe, but I would say indoors we need to dress in dark colors so that the gestures that we're giving are highly visible against a dark background. Also, you don't want to use small, minute things. Some people say, just conduct very small. You can do that to an extent, but if it becomes too small to where students on the back rows can't even see what you're doing, which is, I've seen this happen before, it becomes very counterproductive. But you want to dress in dark colors, and you want a baton that is balanced. This one's a little bit off balance because I've put some glow-in-the-dark paint on it, several coats of glow-in-the-dark paint on it, because I've used this in dramatic productions when the orchestra pit had to be very dark, and so I coated it with this glow-in-the-dark paint that I got at a hardware store, and I would duct tape a black light to the bottom of my stand. I don't have it taped to it now, but I would just tape it there, and I would lay my baton right across it just to let it soak in that light, and I would conduct with this when it was in the dark, and the students could really see that. Let me turn out a few lights real quickly to show you what I'm talking about. It's not perfectly dark in here, but you do get the idea of what the students would be able to see if you're conducting with a stick coated in glow-in-the-dark material. You can also go by the hardware store many times at different seasons around Halloween and get chem lights that are glow-in-the-dark sticks. You break them, shake them up, and they react really nicely with black light, especially. I mean, they're like become electric almost. Okay, back to the baton. The baton does need to be balanced. That means just beyond this handle, if you hold your finger out this way, or the baton should balance on your finger. This one's a little bit front heavy because of the glow-in-the-dark paint I've put on it, but the handle needs to be of wood, and you want it to be balanced, and you want the baton to be an extension of your arm. From the point of the baton to your elbow, it needs to be a straight line. And when you come down for the downbeat, it needs to be to where your arm and the baton are parallel to the floor. You don't want to be conducting like this or conducting at them like that. They need to be able to see like that. And that's the reason why conductors stand up on a podium high enough so that that downbeat with the arm flush to the floor, parallel to the floor, can be seen clearly. I'll get to the patterns in just a second, but when you prep a group for the downbeat, when you're getting ready to start the group, you want to get their attention. You want to start off to the side of the podium first, and to let them know they're at a rest position with their instruments laying on their lap so that their instruments are safe. And then when you step in front of the podium, then they bring the instruments up on their knee, and if they play at the beginning, when you bring up your arms, they bring the instruments to their mouth or in playing position, or they get ready to sing, whatever it may be. But you get their attention, and then you pow. You let them know that preparatory beat gives them the tempo and the intensity of what you're doing. If, for instance, you're doing a slow song, you would start off boom, 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 boom. You've within that preparatory beat from boom, that gives you, that's how long the beat will last. If it's a fast song, you can kind of like and let them know with that preparatory beat the tempo that you're going to take. Of course, you've also rehearsed it at that tempo, so it's kind of ingrained into them that way. But let's talk about, first of all, the 4/4 pattern, where there's 4 beats in every single measure. It starts off, you begin the group and you go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to left, right, up. Notice there's a pop on each beat. I'm not conducting like this. You don't want to do that. And because where's the beat in that? You can't see where the beat is. It's very difficult to determine where that. It needs to be precise so that the instrumentalists know exactly where the beat is. And you don't want to use the mirror conducting that marching band directors or drum majors would use outside. They do that specifically so that someone looking across the field with an instrument playing, they can actually see that beat taking place. That's good for outside, and they'll dress in white colors so you can see them. That's called mirror conducting, because this hand's mirroring what this hand's doing. We use that outside. Inside, you never, ever, ever want to do that inside. It's inappropriate. You want to just do the pattern with one hand, and you'll do dynamics with the other hand or cutoffs. But I'm going to show you the 4/4 pattern. I'm going to turn around away from you so you can see what it would look like from your vantage point. It's down to left, right, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. As I pull to the left for beat 2, I am popping my stick, the baton, like this. I'm letting it swing to the left a little bit to give more of a sideways sweep, like down to the left, right, up. I'm going to conduct straight up in the air so you can see it better. Down to the left. See, I kind of pop the stick this way, then I pop it back straight when I go to beat 3. So it's down to the left, right, up, down to the left, right. And then when I come back to beat 4, as it hits this imaginary wall, it bounces straight up. It kind of does a little ricochet straight up. Down to left, right, up. And notice in beat 1, it kind of bounces. Bounce, bounce, pop, pop. Down to left, right, ricochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if a student gets lost or an instrumentalist gets lost, all they have to know is this is beat 1. 2. I'm lost. Oh, here's the next measure. 2, 3. Next measure. 1 is always straight down. So if you get lost, it lets you know. And if you understand conducting, you understand, that's the next measure. And you can constantly have a reset point for your whole ensemble every single measure that if you need it. If there's a tricky part in a measure, you've got this way of regrouping yourselves. Let me show you that one more time. Down to left, right, up, down to the wall, wall, up, down, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4. And you need to practice that with one hand so that you can then begin to use left hand gestures, or you can swap this around if you're left-handed. You'd like to conduct with your left hand and use gestures with your right. Doesn't matter. But down to left, right, you need to be able to show what a crescendo is. I like to keep my fingers together. Some people, you can do this. Maybe if you want to, but I like to keep my fingers together. My thumb can be apart. If I want to show a crescendo, I'm going to crescendo like this to bring the group up. Or a decrescendo, you turn your hand over and let them know when you're supposed to get soft. You can also gesture individuals. But if I'm going to crescendo the group, 2, 3, 4, softer, 2, 3, crescendo. And you just practice these two different moves to get the coordination between your hands going. You may want to just get certain individuals quiet, like you may want to say, shh, shh. Or you may want to say, you come out a little bit louder by just saying a little bit louder. You can cut people off with your entire hand, like 2, or it may be just like a few fingers cutting off. Or you can begin attacks if you want to cue someone in. Say we've got a trumpet section over there that's been resting for a long time, and all of a sudden we've been playing and it's time to come in, so I get eye contact with them and I'll let them know, hey, we're about to play. Boom! And I'll even use my left hand in connection to give them a strong point of entrance, that cue to let them know, boom, your time has arrived, your day of judgment is here, you got to play. So you want to do that, or you can just cue it. If it's a quiet entrance, you could just, as you're conducting along, you should say, if it's a soft entrance, maybe just one finger, or 2 fingers, or 3, or 4, just depending. Or you could, like that, you want to really let them have it out in the audience. Or if you're conducting, you can use cues for just with the baton itself. You could be playing along and all of a sudden the flutes have a pickup, so you just scoop them up and pick them and take them along with you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Some conductors will do a lot of, if I'm doing a slow passage, I will sometimes break down the beat and do little eighth notes. Like I say, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I've just noticed something. My stand is a little bit high, and you want to keep the stand out of your way, because maybe you've seen a conductor using a stand, and as he comes down, sometimes he'll come up and the front edge of that stand, or the back edge of the stand, will catch the baton. It'll just perfectly flip it right out of their hands, and it goes sailing across into the woodwinds, and they're like, ah! But you want to make sure that stand's way out of your way, and you also want to make sure that as in your regular conducting pattern that you're not going to hit that thing. But you don't want it to inhibit your motions. You should almost have the score memorized anyway through your score study that we'll talk about later. But you want to have this down and out of your way. But when you cue someone, the students, as I was saying, you want to use different hand motions depending on the entrance, but you want to use your eyes, you want to use your whole body to get their attention, especially if they're like middle school students. You may have to do a lot to get their attention, to let them know, and I'll say, boom, you come in, this is your entrance. They need all the help that they can get, even adults do. Let's see. I did see one time a conductor in a clinic situation where they spent the weekend playing together as a band. The lady took her stand up like this, and she got aluminum, but I mean not aluminum, but a fiberglass baton, and she just sat behind it and banged on her stand the whole time. They couldn't see it, and once the whole group played, of about 68 kids or so, the percussionist, and if they started playing, they could not even hear the baton tapping anymore. And so it's going off, she couldn't figure out what's going on. Can't you guys, I think she was used to teaching with maybe just 25 students in the room, and of course they would hear that, but when you've got a huge group, it all needs to be visual, so that once they're playing at volume levels that are very loud, they can still see when they wouldn't be able to hear a baton tapping. And it also trains your group not to listen. If you're a conductor who just bangs on a stand the whole time, you're training them not to look, not to have visual communication with you. And there's so much that we can do as conductors to communicate with students, the energy, the passion, everything that we're wanting to convey. There's so much that you, as an actor to embody the music itself, if you can do so much with your face to show rage, joy, elation. All these types of things are like this is very, very quiet, or this is loud. You know, you could do all that. If you're visual, you can convey so much to your group as to this is serious, or this is happy. You know, you can do, but if you're just sitting back there and talking in a monotone and just banging on a stand, wow, that has nothing to do with music. And you're, like I said, you're training them not to be musical. You're training them not to communicate and to communicate with you. As soon as you get in front of a group, you want to start communicating, and you want it to do it visually, and so that you start to build that, and so that they start to learn you as a conductor, and they can start to follow you, and the group can gel together in what they're trying to say, the music, what it's embodying. You can telecast dynamics. Like I was saying, you don't want to get too small to where they can't see you on the back rows, but you can use that. For instance, this it has more to do with intensity as to how loud you can be, and but you want to, if you do have to get quieter, you can do that very softly, and then boom, 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 and as you these pickup beats, the preparatory of the next section, you can do so much with that. But let's talk about the different patterns now. As we conduct. For instance, like as we said in the beginning, 4/4 is 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1 is always straight down. 3, it's our reset button for every single measure. And now you get to see it from your point of as if you were conducting down to left, right, up, down to left, right, up. Or you can break down the eighth notes, as I was mentioning earlier, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. These are upbeats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's especially very helpful when you're doing a passage that slows down, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. So that's, you have to be able to, visually, it's so important to communicate that, not just bang on a stand. The 3/4 pattern, where there's only 3 beats to the measure, it's down to right, up, down to the right, up, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And notice when you come back, the downbeat is 1, just as in 4/4, you do this little rebound thing, boing, to the right, up, down to the right, and of course when it comes back that last beat, it just ricochets straight up again. 1, 2, 3, boom, 2, pow, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then when you cover, like say a 5/4 pattern, 5 beats to the measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, right in the middle, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one way of doing that. And then a 6/8 pattern is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Most of the time is conducted in 2, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with a duple type of a feel on each beat, each eighth note, in other words, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And as soon as it's like a little J as you're forming on beat 1, it's boing, and it just immediately pops off to the right, and it bounces right straight back up. There's this little thing that makes things bounce off of it, I guess. Boing, a little bumper, boing, 4. It's like a J pattern that you're doing, but there's a pop right there so they know exactly where the beat is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this could also be like a 2/4 pattern. 1, 2, bum, dun, 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 ba, dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Or like in 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you've got to show with your whole body this lilt that the triplet field has, is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's in 6/8. But you can conduct 6/8 as if you were conducting every little eighth note, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice the first half of the measure is leaning to the left, the second half of the measure is leaning to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we've got 12, let's do 9/8 first. 9/8 is going to have a triplet on each of the 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 12/8 is when you've got a little triplet on each beat, a little eighth note, a triplet on each beat, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just like 4/4. 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Boom. And then I believe that's all that I've thought about covering here. But again, everything needs to be done to where it communicates as much as possible where the beat is, to give confidence to your players, to let them know exactly what you're wanting. And you know, everything that you can do with your eyes, your facial expression, to embody the music and the emotion behind it and the feeling that's behind it, the more exciting it could be. You know, draw measures out when you're conducting to add tension and then release. That's what you want to do. And if you understand how to conduct yourself, when you see a conductor, using these gestures, you'll understand what he's trying to say, what he's trying to convey, and then your communication will be better. If I understand a language and you understand a language and we're speaking the same language, then we can really talk. But if only one person really understands the language, there's not going to be much communication. And you're going to have frustrated conductors and instrumentalists that are like, why is he yelling at me? Hey, I'm just trying to do my best playing my little instrument. You have to understand, and if you understand how to conduct, you'll be a much better instrumentalist. You'll be very powerful. As an instrumentalist, you always want to make sure that you can see the conductor. You are dangerous to any group if you can't see the conductor. If you've got your head buried down in the music, or if you're kind of even looking away, I've seen a lot of instruments, they'll be kind of like set up this way, looking that way, but the conductor's over there. You've got to be able to see that conductor. Your eyes always have to be open to them. You have to have your head up to where with your peripheral vision at least you can see that conductor. And it's best you become familiar with the music where you can like look directly at them, and especially at those measures where the music, when you're slowing it down and you're drawing out beat 4 and look right at them, or like for specific cutoffs at the end. So learn this language of conducting, of the language of music, the visual aspect of it, so that you will be an asset to any group that you sit in, to where you can, with precision, interpret everything that conductor is trying to say. Hopefully this has been helpful for you, and I hope that your bands and your ensembles will sound better and more precise, will operate with more precision, simply because of the understanding that you get. And practice this and learn how to do it, and then who knows, maybe you'll have an opportunity to conduct in the future.